Growing up in Florida and seeing the vast difference from lush green trees to concrete and buildings, I have only seen the small effect that overdevelopment has had on me. This is why, as a Florida native, I feel compelled to speak about this concerning issue. First, I would like to talk about how residents are affected by overdevelopment. Residents are affected by overdevelopment in many ways. One way is with increasing density in towns and cities. It also brings it overcrowding. This is why it becomes a fight for resources such as energy and water. Additionally, in an article titled "Florida Developers Want to Scare You into Letting Them Have Their Way," developers built whatever they wanted, wherever they wanted, and that's the way they liked it. The result: congested roads, crowded schools, overloaded sewers, and other signs that Florida was being overwhelmed. That hodgepodge approach to development was ruining the state. Also, with more development becomes more infrastructure and traffic, and which leads to even more problems. As stated in an article titled "Tell Me All About It, Urban Sprawl in Florida" states, traffic is typical of a community experiencing urban sprawl, and commute times are much higher. This means residents pay more for bus transportation, road construction and maintenance, and infrastructure. More car use also emits more greenhouse gases and exacerbates health and environmental issues caused by air pollution. And this can especially be seen down south as traffic is at an all-time high due to seasonal tourists and construction. And this also leads to the next topic of how overdevelopment in Florida affects our ecosystems. With buildings being put up at a rapid pace, sanctuaries for our ecosystem are now being put at constant risk of destruction. According to WLRN Public Media states, if Florida continues growing at its current pace, more than 2 million acres of the state's ranches, timberland, and farm could be paved over to make another 12 million new residents by 2070. This would mean the loss of crucial wetlands, prairies, and forests that fight flooding, rising temperatures, and other threats from climate change, and the destruction of crucial habitats for panthers, bonnet bats, and other disappearing animals. As a lover of nature and animals, I am saddened to see this happen, and it also should raise eyebrows for others. As our loss of land increases, that means a loss of agricultural production, which directly hurts our food production, and our animals are harshly affected by destroying the natural order of life. According to an article titled "Habitat Protection Conservancy of Southwest Florida" states, development has led to isolated and reduced wildlife populations in Florida and has strained or removed critical pathways between core habitats. These limited and fragmented populations lead to inbreeding, which can make for less healthy individuals, disease, and further impact populations. This may also keep wildlife from performing their natural necessary behaviors such as feeding or reproduction. And this should raise eyebrows into what overdevelopment and how it is affecting our state. However, some may not see it this way. The idea that overdevelopment is good for the state of Florida stems from the money that it brings in. According to an article titled "The Florida Chamber of Commerce," it states, more evidence of Florida's vibrant economy comes in the form of a steady stream of income moving into Florida in recent years from other U.S. states. People are flocking into Florida and bringing their income with them. Florida's growth is strong in many other areas as well. In fact, with 23 million residents, over 10 million people leaving, and approximately over 140 arrival visitors, Florida will likely add 2.8 million more residents and need to create almost 1.4 million new jobs by 2030, all of which help fuel our continued GDP growth. Unfortunately, the economy comes at the cost of our environment. And for instances, in focus on Florida, population, resources, and quality of life, it states, Florida's population growth and its accompanying urbanization, flood control, and draining of swamps for development are killing the Everglades. It's not just the wetlands that are disappearing. Florida loses 450 acres of forest and 410 acres of farmland to development every day. Housing developments have invaded the wetlands that used to cover much of central and southern parts of the state. As the natural habitat for so many species is destroyed, entire animal populations, including the Florida panther and the manatee, are rapidly disappearing. Although many see Florida's overdevelopment as a sign of economic prosperity, it reveals a deeper problem and should raise eyebrows and call for a call to action to put this to a stop. To conclude, overdevelopment may be seen as great for the state due to the economy. However, it comes at an irreversible cost for Florida's wildlife and its natural beauty. Seeing firsthand of these changes, I feel compelled to speak about it. In the end, Florida is a delicate and vibrant ecosystem that once breathed freely beneath the canopy of trees and quiet marshes. But with each new strip mall and luxury condo chips away at its soul. So we must ask ourselves, what's the true cost of this so-called progress? And if we don't act now, future generations may only know Florida through stories and not from the beauty we once lived in, but the silence we leave behind. Thank you.